Testing the stream if it's gonna work, because I haven't streamed in like 7 months, so. And I'm not at the same internet, so. I'm just gonna see if this is working right now. Pretty sure it is. This is mostly gonna be a VOD just based on you understanding how I do things, and less so on. I'm not gonna make anyone watch this, but I will tell everyone that it will be available. And I probably won't do VOD reviews unless it's with the main roster. Unless it's important that we're playing with the sub, then I will. But this is just going to be an example so far, and then I will get into the draft once I figure out that this is ready to go. Generally, I'm going to start off with your thought process behind the draft and what I think you did right in the draft and what your picks are compared to theirs. Do you pick well into what their team does? Does your team comp make sense in the first place? Is it good for the current meta? One of the things that you're going to figure out about me is I am a metaist, if that makes sense, in which that I mostly are going to focus on what is good in the meta currently, and that if we're not playing what's good in the meta, then we're probably not doing something right because you want to play what wins, and that's really what's most important is because in the end it's about winning, obviously, especially when we're getting closer to the UK Premiership. Okay, I think it's working. For fuck's sake, I'm stuck at a black screen. It's been doing this a lot ever since patch 6.1. It's not because of the stream. Getting shit just blacks out for no reason. It gets stuck. Hasn't happened in a while though. Get it back up in a second. I will fix the webcam after this, but
it's not how much you can lift, it's how good you look.
okay. So just taking a look at the team comp right now. So we have opted for the Malphite pick, which is pretty strong currently, so just taking a look at it, we have picked into a scaling composition, which has its ups and downs right now, and one of the problems with something like this is if the enemy team gets any sort of advantage, not any sort of, but a large enough advantage in the early game, you guys are pretty much screwed. Malphite's always good into this kind of stuff though, because he provides engage and pick potential, and against their team especially, Malphite is a really good. So um, the Malphite is definitely pretty good. He's gonna have a tough laning phase. Alawi's she's terrible, so that's interesting. But You've provided a ton of frontline, and Alistar in this situation could have been opted out for something with more peel for Jhin. He could definitely peel for Jhin, but you're gonna have to make a choice with the Alistar and whether or not you're gonna use him for engage or you're gonna use him for peel, right? So, because Malphite's not gonna be peeling the backline, and Rek'Sai could, but Rek'Sai is probably not unless you tell him to. So Barsha needs to make sure that he knows whether or not he's going to have to make a decision on what he's going to be doing in team fights, because the problem with Jhin is yes, he is a good damage dealer. He has absolutely no mobility whatsoever. Same with Victor. So if they get, you know, Zac comboed along with any sort of CC from this, your backline's done and you have no damage. So that's one of the problems with this. It's not so much of a problem, but something that you have to keep in mind, right? Is your team without Jhin and Victor is nothing. You have no damage, right? So when you play stuff like this, you just have to be constantly thinking in team fights and communicating, okay, who's going to be peeling, who's going to be engaging, and can we follow up with that engage, right? I'm just going to jump to live. Okay, wow. You guys got wrecked. My mid laner at my university he mains Victor. He has like 200,000 mastery points on him. One of the things that we've noticed with Victor is he has pretty much no damage output early in the game, at least pre-6. He's pretty weak. So when you do gank your lane against a Corki who has insane burst damage early levels, you just have to be careful of that because you're probably not going to win a 2v2. And you can't. And one of the things that you have to remind yourself when you're doing ganks, if you have no idea where the enemy jungler is, he could just be sitting there waiting for it, which he was, right? So it's one of the things that we're going to work on, and that I'm probably going to help in terms of in-game stuff, is ward control and knowing where the enemy jungler is. Because, especially in the early game, like I said, when you're playing a scaling competition like this, is you have to know, you can't fall behind early, right? So you just need to know where the jungler is, and him not being able to get that early start with Corki now up a kill, which is not good. The goal right now should just be to get out of laning phase with not too large of a deficit. Okay, good play. Again, something like that could be a little. You just have to keep in mind again, because I'm going to be constantly reminding you guys that you just have to think about this stuff, because when you're playing better teams, when you get to the UK stuff, to the tournament, and you are playing higher elo people, you're going to have to keep in mind that, look at this. So when you made that gank, Corki was pushing Victor into tower, so Zac not going to be mid, right? And then Alawi is at Malphite's tower. So Zac is Zac is probably not going to dive this. Alawi's almost they don't have enough damage to take down a Malphite. So I doubt Zac's going to be top. So Zac is either farming, sure, or he's going to be bot side, because that is the easiest place for him to be right now, is if you're just looking at these two places. So he's either farming or he's going to be ganking somewhere, and that's going to be bot lane. So that's one of the things, right, is if Rek'Sai has a ward, which he does, you probably are going to need to ward something before you make that gank, because what if Zac was there? Sure, you probably would have won still, but you have that danger of getting counter ganked and then end up losing and falling behind even more, like you just did in mid lane. So right now, no one on the team has any idea where Zac is. Okay. This is good because you know where Zac is, so you have no chance of counter gank, and you're also doing it, unfortunately, with Malphites. It has no mana, so yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go. Malphite should have been communicating that, because there's no way that gank would have worked. So the team knows where Zac is right now, so we're good there. So bot needs to not overextend. Because we absolutely know where Zac is. Nice knockup. Wow, that was really nice. Nicely done. Okay. Good. So that was good because Rek'Sai knew that Zac was bot side after seeing him invade our blue side, and so he immediately came bot because he knew he was going to gank, so that was good. This is not good. Don't do this right here. So I know what you're trying to do, right? Is you want to get some early vision down, or you want to know where Zac is. But this is another thing. The jungler has to look, right? Mid is pushed. Victor is at his tower, and bot is here with Lucian. Okay, so you think that bot could come up and help you, right? Probably still not a good idea. Victor is nowhere near you. Victor cannot come. Janna is already respawning, which you should know, and then Zac has 6, and he's doing red buff. So there is no reason for you right now to be in their jungle. Because them coming to help is not good. I don't think. Malphite, so the team has to know. Malphite has no TP, so you're down a TP right now. Alawi has TP advantage over our top laner. So yes, let's say bot does come up. Janna will be there. Lucian will probably be there as well. And Victor will be there really late. And then Alawi can TP and you guys got 5v4'd and you lose. Malphite needs to make sure he's communicating that he doesn't have TP, and Alawi does, because that is really big in terms of map pressure. Is yes, Victor does have TP, but you're still down one. It's significant enough to make sure that the team has to know that.